my future brides. Just things that I would have done differently for my wedding. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt because everybody's so different, but we're gonna start off right now. So the first thing that I would have done different is probably would have eloped if my husband had been okay with that. He really wanted to have a big wedding, which was fine because I was really kind of open either way. I always pictured myself having a big wedding, but when it came time to pay for it, I was like, let's maybe elope, you know? I would have been fine with just doing a destination wedding. I'm sorry, not elope. I would have done a destination wedding, and we ended up having a big one. I don't regret it. So yeah, maybe for like an anniversary, we'll go and renew our vows somewhere or something like that. I probably would have given myself a little bit extra time to plan. We only had 9 months in between our engagement and our wedding. That is because I like even numbers and I wanted to get married in 2024 because we were originally just kind of our life plan. So we wanted to do 2024. We didn't want to wait till 2026, and 2025 just wasn't an option. So we ended up doing 9 months. It worked out, it was fine, but it would have been a little bit nicer to have some extra time. Maybe like a year and a half would be ideal for someone like me who doesn't want to be like working on something every single night. I also didn't do like a ton of DIY. So like obviously if you're doing DIY stuff, you're probably going to need a little more time too, but that is definitely a preference. The third thing is that I wouldn't change the month we got married in. We got married August 24th, 2024. But if I wanted a more expensive venue, we probably would have done like February or March. I really wanted to do a month that we don't have anything going on in, so we just get like a little extra celebration. We have nothing in August. I don't even think we have birthdays. Obviously in the future we might have birthdays in August, but for now it gives us a little something extra to celebrate, and it's a nice month in the summertime, right nearing the end of like, actually it's right in the middle of Alex's work season. So piggybacking off of the month we got married, I probably would have done an outside wedding. I wanted an outside ceremony and I thought that our venue had offered that, but for some reason, I don't know why they didn't. There's like definitely space for it, but I have no idea. So we ended up just having to do like a conference room that was in it because we wanted to do our venue all at the same place. We got married at a hotel, so we wanted to do a ceremony, reception, and then be able to go back up to our hotel room right from there, and then also get ready right there. So we basically just stayed the whole weekend at a hotel, and then everything that we needed was in the same building, all the people we needed to talk to. So that was really nice, and that's something that I have wanted since I was like a kid. Another thing that I would have wanted to do that we didn't get to is incorporate our dogs more. We originally were going to bring them at least to the ceremony and maybe have them like walk down the aisle. It just wouldn't have worked out with them. Ella gets super nervous around certain people. She'll just start barking at them. London probably would have got scared and ran the other way. So they just really don't like a lot of people. I don't know. I wasn't sure how they were gonna act, and I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to stress them out, and I didn't want to be stressed out on my wedding day, like seeing them panic coming down the aisle, because obviously they can't. I mean, they could have came with me, I guess, but I don't think I would have wanted that. And that kind of goes off of too, like wanting the outside venue. I was like, oh, it's outside, it's fine. Although the dogs were allowed inside in our venue, but I just felt like outside would have been a little less chaotic. You know, they'd have space to go. Well, we would have had to find somebody to, you know, take them. They ended up staying and boarding at daycare that weekend, so I didn't want to take them out of daycare to come and see us for like, what, 20-30 minutes, take a couple photos, and then get sent back and just be confused. It's already kind of confusing them, you know, when they're sleeping over at daycare instead of just hanging out and playing. So I just didn't want to stress them out anymore. And I just felt like that was going to be the easiest way to do it, would just be not to involve them, which is kind of a bummer. Looking back, I wish we would have done something like treats to give to the people who have pets at home for like a little favor, or drinks named after them. I see a lot of people do something. We had our ceremony at 4 p.m. and that is because I don't enjoy going to weddings where there's a huge gap between the ceremony and reception and there's like nothing to do, not an activity or something, and nowhere to go. Another reason why it's at the hotel. Okay, go to your hotel room, or you know, there was stuff to do there. There was like a space to do stuff, so they had options. I just didn't want to make them wait, so we did our ceremony at 4 p.m. and then I believe, gosh, did we do dinner at like 5:30? I can't really remember exactly. I don't know exactly what we did, but we did our ceremony at 4 p.m. and I felt really rushed doing photos and wanting to get back to cocktail hour. I would have wanted to at least have like 15 minutes in cocktail hour just to like catch my breath and like relax a little bit, but it just felt like ceremony, pictures, cocktail hour, dinner, and then like I didn't get to sit and like, you know, take everything in and enjoy it. And then by that time, you know, our grandparents, they're older, they were already like ready to leave because it was like 7:30 p.m. And that was kind of a bummer, but what are you gonna do? I mean, there's always gonna be things that just don't go how you completely picture them, because that's just impossible and you have to accept that. And I knew that going into it, so I wasn't too stressed out about it, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, I should have maybe planned that better. And then last but not least, something that I would have done is just done more of like my everyday makeup that I usually do. I did my own makeup, and I ended up doing a full glam look, lashes, heavy foundation and concealer, which I will say, it did last. I cried. And it did last. I used the Tarte Shape Tape concealer and that did not budge. So that worked out really well for me. But I didn't feel super pretty, which I guess, yeah, that kind of sucks because that's your wedding day and like everybody, you know, you kind of expect to feel like, oh, I'm gonna look so good. This is gonna be like the best I ever looked. I did not feel that way. I mean, I think I looked fine. Like looking back, it wasn't like, whoa, that was atrocious, but I didn't feel just like, you know, my best self, which always ends up happening when I end up having to do things by myself because I just keep adding more and more and more. And so my eye makeup was heavy and it was just a lot. It looked good probably from a distance, probably not so much up close because I guarantee you it was cakey, but my pictures look good, so I don't care. But yeah, I would have just picked more casual makeup, less makeup to do, just so I could feel a little bit more like myself. But that's just a personal preference. All of these are personal preferences, obviously, so still make your decision on what you want to do because it's nobody else's decision. And yeah, just try to enjoy yourself and really make time to connect with your partner. Alex and I, we spent the whole night together, so I felt like we were together the entire time, but I know a lot of people say that they feel like they didn't get to like sit and talk to their partner, but we prioritized that a lot going into it, so I feel like we were okay at that. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy your wedding or enjoyed it if you're already done and you're just watching this to watch this. Have a great day. Bye.